my ally is the Force, and a powerful ally it is.
May the Force be with you.
Hey, what's up, Wonderlanders, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about Star Wars, as it is appropriate because it is Star Wars Day, and may the 4th be with you. Now, I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I didn't grow up with the original trilogy, obviously, but I did grow up with the sequel trilogy, Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith. In my last video, we talked a little bit about art and success. And recently, these past couple years, Star Wars has kind of seen a lull in success. We're not really gonna get into the reason as of why, because it is Star Wars Day, so we want to praise Star Wars. So let's talk about what Star Wars is doing right, instead of what they're not doing right. So I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but if you have a Disney Plus or you're not living under a rock, Star Wars The Clone Wars has come back for Season 7. This is pretty big, considering that Star Wars The Clone Wars has been running for a really long time, since I was in, middle school, when I was in 8th grade. That's way back there. No, it was before that. Oh my god. Anyway, I digress. With the final season of Star Wars The Clone Wars coming out, the writers and the creators are pulling out all the stops. The animation is fantastic. It is phenomenal. The storytelling is amazing. And this season follows Ahsoka Tano as sort of the main protagonist, which is kind of fitting considering that Ahsoka originated in this series, and I think she's kind of become a fan favorite. She didn't used to be, but her character developed. I might do an episode on that later and compare and contrast some newer Star Wars characters with these older Star Wars characters and sort of what's working and what's not. But that's not what we're here for today. We're here to praise Star Wars. So the final episode of Star Wars The Clone Wars has not dropped yet. I am super excited for it. I don't watch it the day it comes out because I'm normally doing something else. Like I said, Fridays are pretty busy for me. But I do watch it literally the next day. So I watched the new episode of Star Wars The Clone Wars, and even though if you've seen Revenge of the Sith, you know what happens. Order 66 is what happens, and that's when all the Jedi died, right? Right. So you know what happens. And this episode, you know what's going to happen. But the writers and the animators, the creators of this show in this episode, do it so well, it's like you're cranking a jack in the box. You do not know when it's going to happen. You are expecting it, you know it's going to happen, but you do not know when it's going to happen. And I have to say, the past 3 episodes that Star Wars The Clone Wars has put out, at episode 9, 10, and 11, have felt like real Star Wars. Like I was actually watching a real Star Wars movie. And that's something I haven't been able to say since, I guess, Rogue One was good, but I guess Revenge of the Sith. Revenge of the Sith was the last real Star Wars movie that I saw, and I felt like it was a Star Wars movie. And I think many other fans can agree to that. Anyone who is slightly interested in Star Wars or wants to know the story of Star Wars, I suggest watching The Clone Wars. The Clone Wars is, guess what? Sort of the starting point to all of this. Yeah, you can watch Phantom Menace and cringe at its corniness. Yes, you can watch Attack of the Clones and cringe at its romantic subplot. Honestly, that was the worst part of the movie for me. I skip over it every single time. And then you can watch Revenge of the Sith and sort of not feel anything for the Jedi that's, getting killed all around you. Like, you've seen these Jedi in the other movies, but you literally know nothing about them. Star Wars The Clone Wars changes that. It is a complete retcon to the series, and yes, it is canon. You go and you watch Star Wars The Clone Wars, you get to see all of these side characters, all these background characters and background Jedi that you didn't really get to know in the movies. And you get to know these characters, you get to know Anakin a little bit better, which, by the way, Anakin in Star Wars The Clone Wars is better than Anakin in the movies. I'm sorry, it's just fact. I don't hate Anakin in the movies. They didn't portray him correctly, in my opinion. Obi-Wan, flawless throughout the entire series of Star Wars The Clone Wars, and in the movies, like Ewan McGregor? Yeah, Ewan McGregor is a phenomenal actor. Like, I can't wait for him to reprise his role as Kenobi in the Kenobi series. And speaking of which, we don't know when that's going to drop, but to my understanding, it's on pause right now, not because of the quarantine and the whole pandemic that's going on at the moment, but because they realized it was going to mess with some canon and some continuity. There was going to be some continuity errors, and so they decided, hey, let's put a cap on that and figure this out. And I'm glad they're doing that, and they're not just shoving something out there to please fans. But let's talk about Ahsoka. Ahsoka went from being probably one of the most disliked characters in the entire Star Wars franchise. Literally, when she first came out, she was hated by the fans. But that changed. By her character change, she grew up, she developed. Character development, love it. It's so just eat it up. And not only did we get to see her grow and change as a character, we got to see what she was like as an adult with Star Wars Rebels. Star Wars Rebels, in some people's opinions, is not on par with Star Wars The Clone Wars, and I can agree to that because the animation is kind of dumbed down. It doesn't look as nice or as pretty, but it still has some good stories. The Darth Maul arc in Star Wars Rebels, which, by the way, if you don't know, Darth Maul is still alive after Phantom Menace. Where have you been? That's not a spoiler at this point. He's been in everything. He's been in the Clone Wars, he's been in Rebels, he had a cameo in the Solo movie, so if you don't know, what have you been doing with your life? The second good thing with Star Wars Rebels was the dynamic between Ahsoka and Darth Vader, because Darth Vader is Anakin Skywalker, Ahsoka Tano is Anakin Skywalker's apprentice. Those dynamics that they presented in that show were absolutely phenomenal and literally gave me chills. I was screaming when when Darth Vader first appeared on screen. First off, normally a cartoon does not play up their villains very well. They like to make them lose. When Darth Vader was on screen, he dominated. All of it. Every single time. The heroes always lost when it came to Darth Vader. He was never diminished in any way. Then you have Ahsoka Tano finally showing up, realizing I don't want to spoil it for you because I recommend you go watch it. Both of these shows are good. Star Wars The Clone Wars especially. Star Wars Rebels is down there. I won't mention Star Wars Resistance. I've watched it. It did not feel like a Star Wars TV show. It didn't feel like Star Wars at all. God, it's so hard to talk about Star Wars and not critique the new, just whatever it is they're trying to do. And how can I talk about Star Wars and not talk about The Mandalorian? The Mandalorian is good. I like The Mandalorian. I don't know who doesn't like it. I haven't heard any negative things about The Mandalorian. I'm sure if you're not a Star Wars fan, you've seen Baby Yoda. I know coworkers of mine who's never watched a Star Wars movie in their lives know who Yoda is. They've seen Baby Yoda and they think, oh, he's absolutely adorable, he's amazing, he's cute. Yeah, he's adorable, he's cute. Some other good things that's been happening in Star Wars is that Disney has finally decided to hire George Lucas back into Lucasfilms so that he can help sort of fix the damage that has been done to his precious franchise, to his storyline and his characters. And I can appreciate that, and I feel feel like they should have listened to him before all of this mess happened. We're getting way off topic. I cannot stress this enough. I'm trying to say good things about Star Wars, and you see this is how you know I'm a fan, because I am saying the good things and I'm realizing the bad things as well. I'm not just a blind follower. I can see the faults in the series. That being said, unpopular opinions of my favorite movies from each trilogy. That's right, each trilogy, even the sequels. Attack of the Clones has to be my favorite for the prequels. That's only because of the battle at the end, the huge arena battle with all the Jedi. That's the only reason why that's my favorite. And then you have Return of the Jedi for the Tridge. Yes, I know a lot of people say that, you know, Empire Strikes Back is the better of all three of the original trilogy, and yeah, it's good. It's a pretty flawless movie. However, I have some trauma with that one, which I'll go into detail later, at a later date. The reason why Return of the Jedi is my favorite of the original trilogy is because, one, Luke had a green lightsaber. Favorite color lightsaber, don't care, your argument is invalid. Luke has a green lightsaber. It's the best. Two, the Ewoks. And I get it, some of y'all hate the Ewoks. I think they're adorable. I think it's utterly hilarious that Ewoks with sticks and stones could literally kill a stormtrooper. That's meme fuelage right there, because we all know how lame stormtroopers actually are. Like, they can't hit anything. And I love that The Mandalorian capitalized on that in one episode. Oh my god, it was just fantastic. Literally a non-moving target and a can, and these two stormtroopers could not hit it for the life of them. God, it was so funny. It's great. Meme worthy. Love the memes. Have y'all noticed there's been a rise in Star Wars memes lately? Because I have. So many. And then I have to say, for the sequel trilogy, would have to be the last movie that they came out with. And I'll try and go into that in a later date too, is the reason why I think The Rise of Skywalker was the better of The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. I mean, for me it goes Rise of Skywalker, Force Awakens, Last Jedi. I mean, Last Jedi can't be somebody's favorite of the sequel movies. It can't even be somebody's favorite Star Wars movie. It has to be at the very bottom of the list. My favorite of the Star Wars story movies is Rogue One. Mostly because Darth Vader out here being a legit beast, like a legit savage. If you have not watched Rogue One at all, and you have no interest in watching Rogue One, I challenge you to maybe skip the whole movie and just cut right to the end with, you know, the V-Man himself, because it is absolutely fantastic. It is horrifying. I had goosebumps. I had chills. My arm hair was standing on end. It was just amazing to witness. So yeah, I didn't really have a point to this episode other than me gushing over Star Wars and what I like about it and kind of what I don't like about it. I'm gonna go into more detail of what I don't like about it. So I want to critique Star Wars, specifically the sequel trilogy, do some comparing and contrasting between the characters and say what works, what doesn't, and, you know, even throw in some of my fanfic ideas for how the prequel trilogy should have gone, because I haven't really heard how people really could have fixed it, because that doesn't seem what people are talking about. They're just talking about how bad the movie is, and nobody's really saying, well, what could have made it better. I'm sure there are videos out there like that, I just haven't seen them. Alright, my Wonderlanders, this video is already getting a little too long for me, so if you guys liked it, remember to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Apparently there's a little bell that you can click that notifies you of my videos. So maybe you should click that and watch it. And Darth Vader comes on screen. Right?